Alright, so we are back with another video. This video is intense. Something that I feel like I was not all the way aware of when I jumped into real estate. That is being how much it actually cost me to even get my license, get started, and even get with a brokerage to be able to even start officially showing houses to people. And it was intense. It was a lot. I feel like it's something that I just wasn't aware. And as expenses kind of kept coming up, it's something that I think was beneficial. It turned out to be a true investment to myself. They always say, can't make money unless you spend a little money, which made sense after all this money that came out of it. So I want to talk about the expenses and how much it actually costs me. Every other state has different type of costs. There's different places that do less things. But here in Colorado, this is how much it costs me to get on with my brokerage and just get started. So let's jump right in. So first of all, you have to get your actual license before you can actually go in and take the test. You gotta do 168 hours of schooling. Because in Colorado, you were actually getting your real estate broker's license as opposed to just your real estate agent license, if that makes sense. So as a broker, you're able to actually work alone after 1 year under a employing broker. So really cool, it's exciting, right? Those classes I went through Kaplan College was about $850 to start. So right off bat, you're putting out $800 to get the books. I did do my schooling where it was more at self-paced, and you get like 6 months to finish the courses, and they give it to you videos and give you a nice book. They give you like 4 different books to really go through and kind of finish those up. Love the schooling, but in total it cost me $850. The next course, let me pull out my handy dandy notes. The next piece of that was after I got my license, and you have to actually go in and take your test. The test was another $50. So you take $50 to take both your state and national tests. So I did that. When I first went in, I did not pass the state exam the first try. I missed a few questions on the contracts, which I think is super important. Maybe I'll make another video about some good study tips that I took after I failed the first time and decided like what I was missing after taking that test. And I was able to go back and study exactly what I was kind of confused on and missed that. So maybe I'll make another video about some study tips I did. But that was, again, $50 to take that test. And then because I failed the first time with the state part of it, I had to go back and take it again, which was another $50. So overall, that was $100. And then once you get that, you have to find a brokerage. And again, it's super important to find the right brokerage, where, and kind of ask the proper questions. It's very important to know you are interviewing your brokerage, right? They're not interviewing you, you're interviewing them, to make sure you have all the right resources. So when I found my brokerage, there was actually a $150 sign-on fee, but that paid for things like my business cards, that paid for my CRM that I use, and things of that nature. So it was really cool. I was like $150, that's good, it's a good investment for things that I also have to get eventually anyway with business cards and a good CRM that I can utilize to kind of track my leads. So that was $150 for that. And then you have to, so you don't have to pay for your leads, but I think it's beneficial because these leads are kind of coming into you and they're kind of looking for homes. So it was $100 for 1 round of leads. 1 round of leads usually gets you anywhere from 5 to 15 or 10 to 15 leads. I pay $300 to get me 3 rounds of leads. So again, have more contacts, more people to call and throughout the month, to kind of help me push my brand and push my overall just, my client base. So that is what I felt was beneficial and what I could do. So I paid $300 a month for that. And then when you are in there, you actually need a contract system. There's a contract system called CTM that costs $30 per month. which I think, again, you don't have to have it, but it was super beneficial because all your contracts are in one place. It's easier to send your contracts to customers and clients, and also to other listing brokers and different, people who you're working with throughout the time. You get all in one place, and you can send it all through CTM. Most agents here in Colorado, at least, do utilize it, so that was beneficial. So I do have that one as well for $30. Next, you have to have your E&O insurance. E&O insurance, something you pay yearly, and again, as a real estate agent, you have to have E&O insurance to kind of cover you in case anything happens. I pay $235 for that, so that costs. And then the big one is your MLS. Well, not big one, but the most important is your MLS. That's where you see all of your houses. You see everything for, you schedule showings for the houses. You see just everything that you need to know in the MLS. It's a really great system that, again, it's kind of needed in order to be a real estate agent. So that one was a $75 to start, and then $50 a month on that as well. So kind of pricey overall, but in total, let's do the math. In total, it was about $1,700, $1,740 to get my license before I can even start to go out and show houses. $1,700. So in total, it was about $1,740 just to get started and going out and showing houses. Big thing for me was, again, you're investing in yourself. So I think it's an investment that's needed. And I will say from that, when I sold my first home, I made a great commission. At least I thought, for like my first one, and I did it in my first month. And I made about $7,000-ish off of my very first commission check. So I think to spend $1,700 to make a $7,000 check was well worth it. I can definitely say it was an investment needed, an investment I'm glad I took. So overall, definitely a good purchase, but I think it's really important that people know when you're getting into this, you have to invest in yourself, and you have to be willing to take the risk of putting money into you, because that's what's so important. Some other expenses that kind of come afterwards are things, again, people don't tell you before you start making money, are things like driving around, right? You're now driving around, putting miles on your car, so your oil change might come a lot quicker. You're then putting gas in your car pretty frequently. So like there's other small changes and other small things that you have to kind of think about expenses wise. Also, for me, I've worked from home for the last 2 years since the pandemic happened. And even then, my job was super casual clothing, right? So we go in there, you can wear just a t-shirt or a polo and some jeans and be fine. Very important that when you're going out and showing houses, that you also have some clothes, right? So that's another expense that's not necessarily a must-have, but I do think it's super important to think about as well when you're going into this business, so that you have to start getting your clothes right? Getting the proper suits and kind of getting the proper just attire all the way down from the shoes to make sure that you look the part. Keep that in mind when you're going into this, right? When you're going into real estate, you do want to make sure when you're talking to your clients that you do show and look the part, because nobody wants to, deal with this guy when showing houses, because that doesn't look like he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't look professional. He doesn't know that he's gonna know what he's doing when he goes into this house to show you. And I think it's very important to know that when you look the part, you play the part. So there's a lot of expenses that go into real estate overall, but every expense I've made so far has been well worth it. And like I said, these are some monthly charges, some of these are yearly charges, some of these are just one-time charges, but overall, this is what the charge is consistently. So when I look at it, there are some charges that I would say are more monthly, and these are kind of consistent charges going on. In total, let's look. So now my monthly charges to just be a real estate agent on a monthly rounds about $482 a month, just for my MLS, my leads, my CTM, as well as just some simple marketing that I'm starting to do on social media, just again to continue push my brand and push my clientele. The point of this is to build your face and your overall brand to the public, so people know that you are an actual real estate agent. The only way to do that is to invest in yourself, and again, put your marketing out there for the world to see. So that is a very simple video for today. If you have any questions about any of the expenses I had, then let me know. But in the state of Colorado, I would say that's about average for just overall. But please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Want to keep it simple, short, and sweet. But now you know, when you're getting a real estate license, it's not just quick, easy money. It is spending a little time and investing in yourself to make sure that you are actually ready to take that next step into making these huge commissions that can come out of real estate. Thanks, everybody. Catch you on the next one.